Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the stream post reset. I think that was actually really helpful for it. Everything's feeling a lot better. We'll see if it actually helps at all. But while we were away, Valor J played against Keystone and managed to defeat him. So Keystone is our other player that unfortunately will not make it beyond top 8. And we're actually going to be seeing Valor J here this game, where he faces off against someone that we first visited in the first match, which is IlyaK. Both of them are playing Shimmer Pack variants, and let's just dive right into the deck list. Let's first take a look at Valor J's since we haven't seen his yet.
All right, so Valor J is calling his take on Shimmer Pack false Shimmer Pack, I believe, because it alludes to the 4 false princes making an appearance here. False princes is a card we've seen in this tournament yet, so for those not familiar with it, it is a 5/5 overwhelm for 3, with a slight downside in that whenever it is targeted by a spell, it becomes a 1/1 frog. Now, that being said, the current meta, there's really not that many spells that can target it. Actually, like in the Shimmer Pack mirror, there's, they play Polymorphin and Permafrost. Well, that answers False Prince, but so does it answers every other high target unit. So they're trying this, False Prince that they can buff up with Xenon Obelisk, which is cool without shrinking it. And by doing that, they're kind of making 5 attack matters a bit better. It's really built to bust these board stalls in the mirror rather than necessarily relying on Crystallize. Of course, it has Crystallize here as well. The other big change is that it's leaving behind some of the Talir's Favor, Temple Scribes, Amber Acolytes that are normally a full 4 of in other Shimmer Pack lists, and playing 4 more power in the form of 4 Amber Monuments. So the deck probably struggles to actually hit the 6, 7, 8 powers of other Shimmer Pack decks, but compensates that with more beefier mid-range threats, cuts down the 3 obelisks, probably acknowledging that it's not going to hit 8 power as much. Then also plays 2 friendly wisps in there as like an annoying evasive threat that can still get buffed and draw cards. So some cool, a pretty cool take on the deck in terms of taking something traditional and giving it a different angle that a lot of players might not be prepared for. And it's clearly working pretty well for Valor J to still be in the tournament at this point.
Well, I have to say that this is barely a Shimmer Pack deck. Honestly, it's a travesty. He's only playing a single copy of the namesake card, Shimmer Pack. And honestly,
Yeah.
this looks set up a lot less as a traditional Shimmer Pack deck and a lot more as an Elysian mid-range deck with a backup plan. Between the 4 Praxis Displacers and the 2 Crystallizes, he's got a ton of aggressive potential to just bust through all these stalled boards. And the backup plan of sort of scouting party with a Xenon Obelisk to give himself a big instant army, and a Shimmer Pack to go over the top if things happen to go that way. It looks a lot more like he's trying to bust through in the mid game with oversized units than he is build up a sizable board and then go over the top with his combo piece. He,
Mm-hmm.
what's the phrase? He reinforces that game plan by playing 2 copies of Lightning Storm in the sideboard, something that only a madman would play in a traditional Shimmer Pack list, since it chops down all your little guys that you need. You can't wipe your own board. He's got more tempo in the teleports, some decays to deal with the other Shimmer Pack lists, and some backlashes in case of those harsh rules to keep his guys safe. So I think he's got a pretty solid plan here. It seems to be working. I don't think Elysian midrange was really on anybody's mind. There's people playing the Vanquishes in the other deck should be good here, but well, IlyaK doesn't really have any of those. Let's go take a look at his list.
Hey, Vanquish doesn't kill False Prince. Turns it into a frog. Booyah. Sick tech.
So,
all right.
Yeah,
Ilya.
Me?
So, can I hear you? Are you there?
I hope so.
Yeah, all right. We've still got aReNGee. He's here.
All right, well, diving right into this is a lot more like a traditional Elysian Shimmer Pack list with the fun Wump Party Starter twist. You've got the 4 copies of Wump to combo with Scouting Party, and that's all they're really there for. We did get to see on stream what it can do when you put the 2 together, and IlyaK does have those 3 Shimmer Packs that are going to make him much more likely to combo out with Shimmer Pack. But how will that really fare against all of these overwhelmed threats that Valor J is bringing to the table, potentially not really well. You can't really chump block all that well, so he's going to be leaning on those Scorpion Wasps and Permafrosts and Sandstorm Titans in order to keep himself safe. We'll have to see how it works
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, Sandstorm Titan still conveniently blocks false prints because Sandstorm Titan is large. So there's going to be some dances in some of these games where if Valor is trying to get on this aggressive false print strategy, you might need that one polymorph to back it up because there's really nothing else in the deck to deal with Sandstorm Titan. Crystallizes Permafrost aren't going to push it out of the way. You don't have any teleports or Praxis Displacers either to speak of. So yeah, Sandstorm Titan again being a pretty important card to the surprise of no one.
It's good in the beatdown decks, and it's good against the beatdown decks.
Mm-hmm.
But it may not end up being the key card here because it doesn't have that all-important Overwhelm, which seems to be the key
Yeah.
card for
Yeah.
Valor J to break through and for IlyaK to have to try to fend off while he goes up for the Shimmer Pack.
Yeah. Game one, Valor J's got Overwhelm units and Crystallize main deck. Those are things IlyaK does not have. IlyaK does not have those in the main deck. So having the Crystallize main deck is a real big boon for this first game. That being said, there's only 2 copies, 75 card deck. You're not guaranteed to draw it. And you're not guaranteed to draw it when you really want it either. So we'll see how this all plays out. Valor J has to get an aggressive start and really has to beat down. It's tough to get the false prints out on turn 2 of the initiative stands, but if you can do it, that's where it's really crazy.
All right, well, we'll see what he has to do as we move into the game. Yes, the challenge is sent, and we are live. Oh, and we're even almost synced. How nice.
That's
So
pretty
that
cool.
really helped out here. Let's take a look at the opening hands.
We've got a ship from Valor J. It only had 1 power into 5 power. But hey, one of them's a monument, right? And you've got a Stormlinks. Wow, 5 power and the Seat of Wisdom is still depleted. Boy.
That does not look like a particularly strong hand from Valor J. I imagine that that's going to give IlyaK plenty of time in order to formulate his game plan.
Wow. And
Especially,
IlyaK even gets to essentially make himself on the play here with the initiative of the Sands.
yeah, that's going to hop him straight to Sandstorm Titan on turn 3. Valor J does have the polymorph, but the first question is IlyaK going to risk his
No.
um, guy into that Stormlinks? But he's
That is
wise to its
a
ways.
person yeah, that's a person that's been playing this mirror a lot today and probably a lot in the past month and knows don't swing into Stormlink's power. Valor J doesn't even cast the Stormlinks though, trying to fool IlyaK here. I don't think he's gonna buy.
Oh, well, he casts it now.
Yeah. Yeah, there was basically no downside to holding it unless, you actually drew a false prince and wanted to cast that instead. All right, so polymorph the Sandstorm Titan. We talked about that, but yeah, no backup pressure for Valor J. Doesn't play his own Sandstorm Titan and opts to just answer it instead. That's interesting.
Hmm. He might be holding on. Well, he could be holding on to the Sandstorm Titan in case of to draw out the removal with his other units, as he did have that um, Reinarch for the follow-up.
Yeah, but the only other really removal is Permafrost.
And
It doesn't
Scorpion
hit Sandstorm
Wasps.
Titan anyway. Yeah, but you have to swing first anyways if you're concerned about it. Here
Here is
comes the
a
crystal.
clear crystallized turn, yeah, that's going to get a ton of value for Valor J. And he's going to be able to get some good hits in, too.
Yeah, that's brutal. Right? That's the old crystallize, and your opponent doesn't have obelisk out turn. It's a good card, turns out. Good card. Whew.
Well, speaking of people who do have Obelisk, Valor J just picked him up. So his Stormlynx is going to be able to outfight their Stormlynxes. And that Permafrost is not looking that good against the Sandstorm Titan.
No, Permafrost not doing a whole lot here, and Valor J gets even the 8th power and decides to play the sigil to hide information, I guess. Even
Yeah.
though, I don't know, it's so minimal there, it doesn't really matter. But
Well, you don't have anything in your deck that costs 8, so
yeah,
probably
there's
preserving
no
the
downside.
information is superior there.
And Xenon Obelisk shows up to remind you that all of your units died.
If he survives the turn and then draws Another
Scouting Party.
scouting party. It has to be
Yeah.
the scouting party. I think it's too late now that the second Sandstorm Titan has been drawn, but in theory, it could have worked.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for IlyaK to come back from, and can technically survive this turn by double chumping and permafrosting, and then drawing
Well, blank,
the scouting party.
scouting
Yeah,
party, shimmer pack turns it around, I guess.
something.
It's gonna take,
But
and
yeah, it's
there's the
well.
first blank.
Let's see. Oh,
Oh,
banner doesn't save him.
he needed to peel every turn for a very long time in order to turn that one
All
around.
right, so as we said, it was important. It could be the difference in game one, and I think it's safe to say it was. I think it's safe to say Crystallize was the difference maker that first game. So,
Yeah, I think it's still really interesting about that Polymorph versus Sandstorm Titan turn. I think a lot of players would have
oh
just
yes.
developed the Sandstorm Titan there rather than
Mm-hmm.
going for the
But
removal.
he was thinking about how, oh, I have crystallized, so if I polymorph this and then they hit and they cast their 6-drop scouting party, my crystallize clears both the Sandstorm Titan. We don't have